Is there a special someone out there for everyone? Someone that God, fate, the universe intended just for you? One special person who, once you find them, everything will be great. James Blunt's 2004 song, Goodbye My Lover, was a real tearjerker for anyone who'd recently been through a breakup. The chorus went like this: Goodbye my lover, goodbye my friend, you have been the one for me. Imagine meeting the one for you and then losing them. Maybe you've experienced this. It's really heartbreaking. Some people might console themselves with the thought that, well, I guess they weren't the one for me then. But some people, especially some men, are absolutely distraught, and some even end their lives over this. If you lose the thing on which your whole life is based, then it might seem that your life is over. Please take care to listen carefully to the words I say when I say this. I don't want this to be misunderstood. But in some way, after a breakup, the life you had, in the sense of it being defined by someone else, is over. Life can never be the same again. It has to transform, to change, to become centered around something else. And believing in a one usually has pretty deleterious effects for someone in addition to that emotional devastation upon breaking up. We can bend and twist ourselves to try to do anything possible to maintain the relationship, even give up our own self-worth and self-esteem. Many would sooner sacrifice themselves before giving up on the reassurance that there's a one for them. That's what we've been taught. Find the right one and you live happily ever after. Rather than focusing on creating and maintaining a healthy relationship with the right sort of person, of which there are many, all importance is placed on finding and keeping the right person. And people change. Relationships change. So can someone go from being the one to not being the one? In which case, are they really the one at all? Are they just the one you're currently with, and potentially one of many possibilities? I always like to put our current concerns and problems in the light of our past. We now live at a time when most people in the world don't need to worry about losing their loved ones to sudden disease or violence. It's rightly seen as tragic when it happens, and I'm not minimizing the awfulness of such events at all. However, it used to happen so much more than it does now. It used to be so common to lose a loved one to war, disease, or problems in childbirth. In the reality of 99.999% of all humans that have ever existed, life was precarious. If a woman lost her husband to war, was she expected to never marry again and just raise her children alone? And if a man lost his wife in childbirth, was he supposed to never take another wife? Were these people never supposed to have another one? If we go further back in our history, there was a time when only 1 out of 17 men reproduced, but nearly all women did. We see something similar today in the social structures of lions and gorillas. One male fights off the other males for access to all the females. But with our cooperative nature, there must have been many occasions with several excluded men teaming up to take out that top man who was controlling this harem. Monogamy later came along as a solution to the strongest and most attractive men having all the women to themselves, reducing the sense of unfairness and loneliness and frustration in the community. Monogamy greatly reduced violence around competing for women and gave each man a hope that he might settle down with a woman and have children with her. Nowadays, things are starting to swing the other way. Most people are meeting on dating apps. Men swipe right 60% of the time and women swipe right 4.5% of the time. And most women are swiping right on a very small pool of men. Many men never get matched. Many men who do get matched only get replies to a small fraction of their messages. And there are a small pool of highly physically attractive men for whom Tinder is just like ordering pizza. It doesn't matter how he treats a woman on one night because there's always another ready to come over the next. Meanwhile, 1/3 of men under 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in over a year. It's a winner takes almost all for the world of men, with a significant proportion of men feeling left out. So where's the concept of the one for all those men who in ancient times never had a romantic relationship, or now for the men who will never have a romantic relationship? We also need to think about why this belief in the one is so popular, and we do that by looking at how it functions. What does it give us? Well, it seems to give us the hope that no matter what our circumstances currently look like, fate has someone in mind for us. We just have to wait, keep doing what we're doing and wait. They are out there. They are our destiny. And this is comforting because, in the words of Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series,
destiny helps people believe there's an order to this horse shit. There isn't.
It also takes the focus off the very important work of developing ourselves to be the best people we could be in order to become suitable for such a long-term relationship. And this belief also makes us undervalue the amount of work required in order to keep a relationship going. You know, you have to learn to communicate effectively without getting emotional, to learn to separate your issues from the actions of the other person, to keep developing yourself, to keep things fresh and interesting so that you can maintain sexual desire. There is so much work to do. It isn't all about finding a magical one and then everything will be easy. So by all intents and purposes, it doesn't seem like believing that there is a one for you makes any sense. But you know what? I still believe in the one. Someone who can appreciate you for who you are and drive you to become all that you can be. Someone who will love you no matter what. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. So where can you find such a person? Look in the mirror. Don't lay upon another human being the responsibility of giving to you more than you can give to yourself. They simply cannot in any kind of sustainable way. So I really mean this when I say, you are the one for you. Thank you very much for listening.